let's see. Oh no.
It says live, but now my
So
eye itches.
live on, oh man. We're going to go, okay, so we're live in, oh, hello everyone, welcome. We're live. Okay, so it's saying that it got removed from the group that I was trying to go live in because it says I didn't do it in time, but we're not 10 minutes late. Facebook is picky, but we're live on YouTube and we're live on my Facebook page. So we'll just keep going.
Fabulous.
It says, okay, well, I got to ignore that. Anyways, all right, thank you everyone as people start to roll in here for tuning in to learn with my special guest. By the way, if you don't know who I am, I mean, you're on my page, so you should know. I'm Carol Freeman, everyone. My special guest today is Kim Howerton. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you for having me.
And today we're going to be sharing with you Kim's top tips for making keto tastier, easier, and faster. Whoops, this is when it's backwards, it's like 3. Anyway, so welcome, Kim. Thanks for everyone for showing up here today. And Kim, can you just give your background? Like, how'd you find your way to keto? So, by the way, people, Kim is my keto sister. We've met in the keto sphere, and so it's fun. I haven't got to see her. Oh, I saw you in March, actually, but that's the last time.
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah, before everything shut down. But anyway, welcome, Kim. We may chat like we know each other, and we do. So.
So yeah, we'll try to include you all in the, not too much like little click lingo. So I'm Kim Howerton, and I've been keto about 4 years. And I personally went keto because I was on my own journey my whole life, right? We're all on a journey. But I had been in declining health. A lot of things were just going very wrong. And I had been, like, I had my first surgery when I was 5 years old. So I had spent most of my life with something wrong, and multiple things wrong. And so I kind of at some point decided I was going to give up on my health in a way and focus on enjoying the life I had and enjoying what I could. And so I actually went into life coaching, and I did a lot of things that were great, great learnings. And I did enjoy my life. But as I was approaching my 40s, I realized it wasn't just about like fighting my body image. I kind of had to finally acknowledge that I was probably going to die, like sooner than I wanted to, and in a way that was much more painful than I wanted to. And like just addressing my mortality and realizing that my food choices were impacting not just when I would die, but like the fact that I was sick all the time. Something was kind of always broken. My hormones were a mess. And so I reined it in, I figured it out, and I found keto. And so once I went keto, everything improved. I dropped 70 pounds. My PCOS stopped being a problem. I got my thyroid taken care of. Now I do use medication as well, but like it was a combined effort. And then, all of those things improved. My insulin resistance improved. I'm now insulin sensitive, so we went through this long process to finally realize, like, you can't just pick and choose where you'll be healthy. Like, you can't just be mentally healthy and not physically healthy. Like, you have to bring it all together.
Nice. And, and some of the background stuff you've done, what I really love about what you bring to keto is that you acknowledge that humans like pleasure, like you like to taste good, and you have a very good knack for developing truly keto-friendly recipes and meal plans that allow people to have pleasure through food while they're doing keto.
Right. I mean, there are absolutely the live to eat people, or sorry, I should have said that the other way. Eat to live people, right? Like the people that are like, food is fuel and I'm just live. And I'm not that person. And a lot of people aren't that person. And I was a foodie from way back. I'm from Berkeley, California, which is like kind of like a foodie epicenter in the world. Not the only one, but one of, and And so I've always loved food, and I really like to separate morality from food, right? Like how you eat is not a moral issue, but it is data that your body uses to make goals closer or further away, depending on the choices you make. And so for me, it was really important to figure out how to navigate the best of both worlds, maximum pleasure, but also living in a pleasurable body. Because ultimately, can you really say you're about pleasure when you feel like crap every day? No, I don't think you can.
Right. Yeah, I love that because you know, all the training that I had, there was this disconnect that you know, we were supposed to give up on trying to lose weight, give up on restrictive diets, all foods fit, and just love ourselves. But the part they were ignoring is that when I ate the foods that my body told me it wanted, I felt like crap. Like it was a miserable way of living. Like, yeah, it was pleasurable in the moment to eat that food, but most of the time I was just constantly craving. I never felt full and satisfied, and but the body I was living in didn't feel good. And so I'm glad that you are addressing that, because that's a big part that's missing out there for the health at every size model.
Yeah, I really tried to be a successful intuitive eater in my overeating kind of days, because I would meet these people who would be like, well, it's very simple. You listen to your body. You listen to your body. And I'm like, but my body lies to me. So, all my body said it wanted was to go through the drive-through at Wendy's and then have everything on the menu and finish that off with maybe some cheesecake. Right? Like that's what my body told me to eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so true. Well, so let's get into the top tips. So we're going to focus on Kim's best suggestions, how she's found to make keto. Let's start. So it's going to be tastier, easier, and faster. And we're going to start with tastier. So what are your...
Tastier.
Yes, tastier.
Okay.
What are your tips? Because there's a ton of blogs and recipes out there in the keto sphere world that they say they're keto and they're not really. So what are your tips for making truly keto tastier?
Right. Well, one thing I'd like to say is that the net carb world is a dangerous one. And so one of the things that I found is very helpful to keep you on the right path is, I don't like the word restriction, but I will say constraints. You can kind of look at it like, when you're teaching a kid to bowl, they put the bumper lanes in, right? And it's like, how do I do things that just optimize my chances of success? So I'm not saying that there aren't times in which fiber does different things, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. What I'm doing is simplifying, and I'm saying if you stick to total carb counts as opposed to net carb counts, you just avoid a whole arena of swampy Dangerland. You don't know where the sinkhole is in net carb world. And so as you're, walking your path, you want to stay on the path. And the easiest way to stay on the path is to count total carbs. So, I could go into very complex, well, what does this fiber do? And how does this fiber affect your blood sugar? And what happens? You could get really into the nitty gritty. And it's like, most people just don't have time for that. And so, step one, I think, is, hey, step one. Hi, Mike Berta. He's our brother. Our keto brother. So if you stay in the net carb lane, you'll just avoid a bunch of confusion and problems. So once you have those bumpers on, it can be very easy to determine how to eat, and then you can just optimize for flavor. So knowing what flavors you enjoy, bringing those in, because one of the things, gets a little dicey is recreation of your favorite. I actually, as a concept, don't have a problem with recreating recipes in the keto world. But I think what you need to do, most people don't go to this layer. Most people are like, I want to make a Twinkie, right? And you're like, well, it's like, okay, no, but what do you like about a Twinkie? What draws you in? Okay, it's creamy, it's sweet, it's got like I can smell the vanilla. Like, go to the sense level of what you liked about a food, and then take it down to the sense level, and then you'll be able to find things that aren't bad for you that can engage those same senses. So some cream or even some yogurt, right? Like Fage 2% yogurt is very creamy. And so it's like, oh, what are my options for the sensations I want in my body, in my mouth, my taste buds, without having to go directly to, let's find something with a lot of tapioca starch in it.
Nice. Okay, so breaking down like the food that you want to recreate, maybe that you're craving, breaking down the sensory input of it. So I bet a lot of people haven't taken the time to actually think about, like, well, what is it that you really like about that thing? So nice.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the first rule of being a good cook is being a good taster, right? Like, being able to taste things well. So taking the time to really say, like, why do I like this? What is it engaging in me? It might be even just a memory, but it's like, okay, well, then how do I break that down?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that takes me back to my culinary days where you're like tasting so much stuff and you started to be able to taste the individual components of it. But also, I love that that's bringing in mindful eating, right? So in order to know what you actually like about something, you have to slow down and pay attention. Instead of just shoveling it in your mouth as fast as possible, you have to slow down. What am I tasting? What are the senses? It doesn't mean you need to go eat a Twinkie now. This just means
no, not at all. No, that we are not endorsing that.
But okay, nice. I hadn't thought about that.
And then you like align that with your nutritional goals, right? So for some people that might look like occasionally they have some whipped cream with some vanilla in it, and and they get that mouth, the feel in their mouth, that creaminess. They get, but for other people it's some Fage yogurt with some vanilla stevia in it, right? Like, similar engagement, different ingredients, both keto, but just depending on specifically what affects you and how.
Nice. Excellent. All right. So any more about how to make it tastier, or are we ready to go on?
I would just say, like, get really interested in herbs and spices. Like, herbs are the fresh version of spices, so like when you go to your grocery store, chives, cilantro, Italian flat leaf parsley, dill, like these all have almost no carbs, really, because of the amounts you use, and you can use a ton of them and the carbs are still really low, but they add a ton of flavor. And so spices and herbs are hugely impactful in cooking, without much detrimental effects.
Ooh, that's a great one too. So I challenge each of you, the next time you're at the grocery store, pick up one of those herbs. And I like that Kim's definition of that. Herbs are just fresh spices. And I bet a lot of people have no idea what to do with most of those green things that you can get at the grocery store. So I'm going to make this challenge. Next time you're at the grocery store, just pick up one that you've never tried before. And all you have to do is, basically pull it off of the stems, chop it up really tiny, and sprinkle it on whatever food you're going to have. Like that, it's that easy. You don't even have to know like what goes with what. Just try it.
Just try it. Very low risk. And one thing, I will say is almost all herbs go with eggs. So if you're making an omelet, a great thing to do is to combine it there, and then you can get a feeling for how did this change your experience.
And we eat with our eyes, right?
Right.
So just that little bit of green sprinkled on whatever we're eating, just that change in contrast of colors there will increase your pleasure with the food the meal that you're having. It will taste better, even if it's just a tiny little bit of the color change on top there.
Right. It really combats the keto brown issue, right? Like a lot of these foods we eat are brown or yellow, yellowy brown, like somewhere on the yellow to it's very natural
Yeah.
earth spectrum. And that burst of green can be very pleasant.
Yeah, nice. All right, so we talked already about how to make keto tastier. Now we're going to move on for your top tips of how to make keto easier.
Okay. Well, good question. I think one of my early tips was really helpful. Just stay to 20 total carbs, right? Like just anything complicated, you can deal with that later, right? Like it is really helpful to not overcomplicate things. A lot of us, myself included, love to overcomplicate everything. But really saying like, I don't know that matters that much right now. And just pushing that off to the side. There's always, this is a life change, right? We don't need to do everything day one. Just roll with it. And then you'll find you get to a space a couple months down the line where you're like, oh, what I was doing that was hard is now easy. Maybe I have time now to add another layer. So pace yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Stick to simple rules. Keto is not a food list, right? It's a metabolic state, but food lists can be helpful, right? Because they simplify. And so if you're new, simpler is better. Constraints make it easier, go with that. But if you're a rebel, like from a personality level like me, just know this isn't forever. These are training wheels, and you can get into experimentation land once you know how to ride a bike, right? Like, or whatever skill you want to do. Bowl, ride a bike, whatever,
Try a unicycle later if you like.
Hey, yeah. And so simplify would be easy meals, batch cook, like anything you can do to save yourself time in the moment. So preparation helps, like setting aside a couple hours to cook some meat. Like I'm sure, Carol, right? If we opened your fridge, probably there's some prepared easy foods in there that, or even leftovers, right? Because any one of us who do this for a long term, learn that like, you're not going to want to cook a complicated gourmet meal every single night.
Yeah. I've got pre-sliced cheese in there. I even go so far as to buy like shredded iceberg lettuce that I could just pull out and put in a bowl. Now that I'm in Arizona, 2 shelves of my fridge are just different kinds of flavored waters now.
Yeah. So a little bit of preparation, some careful shopping, buy things pre-sliced, buy a whole chicken and cook it, and then you've got chicken for a long time. You can do some batching in a sane moment so that in all your crazy moments, that is no longer something that you have to worry about. I think that's my best tip for making it simple is take advantage of a little bit of space to do some planning and scheduling and arranging so that 90% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, it's simple. So a little work up front pays off big time when you're in a rush and you get home and you realize you have no food.
Perfect. Excellent. Plan ahead. Make it simple. That's how to make it easier. Yeah. Right. And prioritize, spend a little time pre-planning and batch cooking.
Right. And also buy a few things. And I'm not talking about like products. I mean, everything's a product at a certain level, but like buy a few things that you can make easy meals with that are just in your fridge and ready to go, or in your freezer and ready to go, that'll defrost really fast. Like I have some hamburger patties in my freezer that you cook from frozen, right? So literally 7 minutes after I open the freezer door, I have a finished burger. And in those 7 minutes that it was cooking, I can grab the lettuce out of the fridge and, the mustard, and I've got a whole meal with less than 10 minutes.
We just got a heart on that last recommendation, so.
I
know.
Oh, I think I have to do. I don't know. You can tell. I don't know. Everything is backwards.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
And that's something else I have. Actually, I just cooked. I love buying frozen hamburger patties too, and I cook them in the toaster oven because then I can do that. So here's my little tip. I'll share. I'll just squeeze this in.
go.
And actually, that's one of the things I have in my fridge too. Is pre-cooked. I pre-cook hamburger patties and I chop them up in so that it's kind of like graham burger, but it's so much easier because then I will batch cook. I'll put like 4 patties in the toaster oven and I just sprinkle it with Redmond's real salt, the garlic salt version.
Okay.
I put that on, put it in the toaster oven for about 5 minutes, flip it over, and I go like while I'm doing anything else, it cooks by itself. So I don't even have to watch it. This is how easy and lazy I've gotten with keto. And then when it's done, like this is my batch cooking. Chop it all up, and then I've got it in a bowl in the fridge. And I swear this entire week, every lunch I've had has been the iceberg lettuce, the chopped hamburger, some cheese and sour cream that I mix with a little bit of salsa or hot sauce. That's it. Like I've eaten all week.
It's sort of the taco salad bowl approach, which I never get tired of.
Yeah. Hamburger taco salad, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Make, just, it doesn't have to be complicated in any way, but it does require a little bit of thought when you're making your shopping list. Yes. Yeah. And I found that if I don't have that, especially the protein part pre-cooked, I get a little lazy and I'll undereat protein. Then I find I'm a lot hungrier. So I found that I especially have to be conscientious of having adequate protein ready for me. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I totally agree. If the protein is handled, pretty much everything else is easy. If you don't have your protein game on point, it can be a lot more challenging.
Yeah. Well, anything else about easier before we move on to the final category we're going to cover here today?
I would say that you mentioned, Redmond's, you like their garlic salt. I love their seasoning salt. Have like a go-to meat seasoning blend, or, it could be a few things. Know that like just without thinking about it, I do a this and I do a that and I do this, and this is going to be delicious. Just know your seasonings, have them on hand, and then you're good to go.
Sweet. Excellent. All right. So we've covered how to make keto tastier, how to make keto easier. The final one, the final one we're going to talk about is how do we make it faster? And specifically, we're addressing the foodies. Okay. So those of you that are keto foodies, how do we make it faster for foodies?
Got it. So, I think sort of what we've talked about so far does totally apply. I think the first thing that a lot of people waste a lot of time on is working against themselves instead of with themselves. I think if you know you're a foodie, I think if you know that if it doesn't taste good, you're not going to eat it. I think if you know that you like thinking about food, I think if you know these things and you accept them about yourself, you can work with them instead of against them, right? I think for a lot of us, keto felt a bit like coming home, because I felt, and a lot of my clients feel, almost like, oh, this is the first thing that I've tried where I feel like my needs, wants, and desires are welcome here. Because I've yet to find a circumstance in which you can't make keto work regardless of what your food preferences might be. I mean, obviously, if your preference is like vegan bread, but in general, right? Like, we can make it work. And so I think that to make this work faster, easier, better for your average foodie, is there an average foodie? I don't know. Is to go with your personality, not fight against it. And that means not shaming yourself. There can be this like horrible infighting in any community where, these people say that's bad, these people say that's bad, this is bad, you're bad, I'm bad, all this stuff. It's like, no, none of it's personal. It's biological, it's chemical. And even if you're a foodie, right, you love food, it doesn't necessarily mean all you eat are fat bombs and keto cupcakes, right? A true foodie actually loves a variety of foods. If you only love sweets, I would reassess you're calling yourself a foodie and say, what else might be going on? Now, I'm not saying it is human to love sweets, right? We are hardwired to enjoy sweet flavors. It is part of the, human evolutionary cycle that it will help keep you alive in times of food scarcity, right? That to crave these things. But at the same time, most people who, I'm a little off on a tangent now, but stick with me. Most people who are like, it's all about the treats all day, every day, even if they're keto, even if my blood sugar is really good, I would investigate. I'm not doubting, I'm not questioning, but I would investigate, because for me, that was letting my addict dictate my decisions. And my foodie and my addict, though they can look similar, are not the same, right? My addict never is like, ooh, dill is amazing. It's like sugar. And so really pulling those apart. And I know I sound crazy, but in my coaching, I talk about different aspects of your personality. It's almost like your little mental minivan, and it's a full house in there. And there's like, for me, like there's an addict, there's a foodie, there's a responsible adult, there's a 2-year-old, they're all in there. And you got to be like, okay, who's driving today?
Oh my gosh, I love that analogy. I'm getting like goosebumps on my legs right now. No, that's so fun. And also it's so important, and I never thought about it that way. I love that. Like your foodie, like pulling apart the foodie and the addict, and being able to differentiate who's driving the car right now. And it's so true. Like maybe your addict might say like, oh, a dill pickle cupcake, but also like that's
weird. But maybe, the foodie is down as long as it gets, the addict is down as long as they get their fix, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so powerful. So, so slowing down. So to make it faster for foodies, you want to slow the car down, and figure out who is actually driving. And if your addict is always driving, the foodie things you're going to be going for and always needing are all the dessert things.
Right. Your addict will drive fast, but not in the right direction. So I think the fast element is like, make sure you're on the right road, your GPS is properly set, and the right person is driving, because that car accident, even though you did it at 100 miles an hour, it's not going to move you the way you want to go. We don't necessarily just want to go fast. We want to get where we want to get as safely and quickly as possible.
Yes. Because you can go as fast as possible, but you're more likely to crash. So the fastest, easiest route is actually going to be the safest route.
I don't know whose quote this is, but smooth is fast and slow is smooth, right? So like you slow down so that you can go smooth, and once you start being smooth, you'll get there faster.
Right.
I may have butchered that, but that's
stop and repair the tire and get gas more frequently. I don't know if that's right, but
we're like on we've like gone analogy crazy.
Oh, that's so great. All right, so as we wrap up here, everyone, let us know in the comments which of these tips has been your favorite. So we covered tastier, easier, faster for foodies. Which tip that Kim has shared, or the ones that I've snuck in there, but like which tip is kind of an aha for you? Like which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments there. And here's the cool thing is that if you like all these tips, if you'd like to go tastier, easier, and faster on keto, Kim actually has a program that's starting. What day does it start, Kim?
Our first call is actually Sunday.
Okay, so this is a perfect time. Kim has a program that she's doing called the Happy Healthy Keto 2020. Is this the first one you've done this
No, we've been running it since late 18.
Okay. Oh, I got to make sure I get the right one then. Here we go. I got the right one. Happy Healthy Keto. And
Oh no, but this round is the one that says September 2020, I think.
okay. Okay. I think I got the right one then.
Because
Okay.
we update it every time.
All right. I'm going to put it in the comment here in a moment here. So, so if you'd like to get it even tastier, even easier, and even faster, so you can try to figure this all out on your own. But if you'd like the shortcut, and Heather says she likes the tips for foodies.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Heather. So if you'd like to get it even easy, faster, and tastier, Kim has a program for this. So I wanted to spotlight what she's got going on. So Kim, can you tell us like the bullet points of what it is? It's first to Sunday. So if you'd like to, anyways, I'll let you.
And that first week, so we have our first call we have our first call a week from Sunday, but the program opens Sunday, which means that first week is all about prep week, shopping lists, food plans. You can really dive in, sink your fingers in, get to know the program. We have a Facebook group. I co-run this program with Carrie Brown, who is a trained pastry chef, and she gives you access to a bunch of her keto recipes. Actually, in fact, the food plan is all her recipes, and some really amazing ones at that. And so Carrie is great, and her recipes very detailed. But it's not just one food plan, because we know, right? You get a food plan, and you're like, I don't like this food plan. I don't like this food. I don't like what. We have 5 different food plans. I don't have any time food plan. I don't eat sweeteners food plan. I don't do dairy food plan. I need, I like to cook food plan. We covered the gamut of approaches and issues people might be navigating. It's a 12-week program. We do monthly calls where you can ask all the questions you want. You can really dive in. We have a very committed Facebook group where we are in there every single day. So this can be an opportunity for the foodie among you or the foodie within you to be like, let me find my people, let me connect here, let me really see what I can make of this, where I can go, taking an approach where your foodie is welcome in your program.
Nice. How much is it? That sounds expensive, Kim.
I know, right? No, it is $69. We reduced the price because we know everyone's having a bit of a rough 2020. And so we said, let's bring this down. We reduced it 30% because we want it to be manageable for people. So for a 12-week program, $69 is fairly low.
It's a no-brainer, you guys. So you get 12 weeks of meal plans and recipes, monthly Zoom calls,
coaching, yep,
and an active Facebook group of keto inner foodies letting themselves loose.
Exactly. So finding your balance, what works best for you in your life. Everybody's welcome. We have everybody in there from carnivore to full on, make all the desserts and, just what works for you. We don't prescribe, we help you thrive. I just invented that.
Ooh, that's a great catchphrase.
I don't know what that means anyway.
It just slipped out. Excellent. All right. Anyone have any questions for Kim about her tips, about her personal life? I don't know. She may not answer those. I don't know.
I'm an open book, people.
About the Happy Healthy Keto program. So we'll hang out here for just a little bit longer, see if any other questions are coming up. But so far we've covered Kim's best tips for how to make keto tastier, how to make it easier, how to make it faster and smoother for foodies. And any last tips or thoughts, Kim?
Well, I would say that I think that I said this before, I'll say it again. I think it's so central. If you're going for a lifetime change, you must be taken into account. You cannot insert yourself with your preferences, likes, desires, mindset into somebody else's life. You need to do the work to find the path that embraces who you are, how you function, what you're like, and what you enjoy, and then optimize to be the best version of you, right? Your goal may not be to be a bikini model, but it might be to play with your grandkids. You know, for other people, their goal is to have six-pack abs. Neither goal is more moral or better than the other one. You know, embrace what you want and then figure out how to get from where you are to where you want to be.
Love it. Love it. All right. So go join Kim's Happy Healthy Keto program. Don't try to type in this link. Just look in the comments. So if you're on Facebook
It's a long link.
On YouTube, the link is in the comments. I just added. You can just click it right on there or copy and paste. If you get stuck, if you need me to send it to you personally, I can do that as well. But join the Happy Healthy Keto program to make keto tastier, easier, and faster. 12-week program gets you meal plans, shopping list, recipes by the very fabulous Carrie Brown, and coaching by Carrie and Kim monthly, and a very active Facebook group as
and
well.
the program ends right before Thanksgiving, which is a nice arc so that you know that you're going to be able to go into the holidays with a really solid foundation of how to handle yourself.
Nice, nice, excellent. Get you all the way through the Halloweeny.
Yes, we will see you to the other side of pumpkin spice season.
There you go. Oh, how many pumpkin spice recipes are there?
I don't think there are any, but I am happy to add some pumpkin spice. Yeah. So if people have questions and they're like, well, I want to modify this or I want to do that, like, we're happy to work with you on things. Yeah. And Carrie and I both have holiday recipe books that a lot of people end up getting at the end of the program, and those are pumpkin aplenty.
Nice. And Kim is my go-to person when I'm like, in fact, just was it this week or last week?
I think it was this week. Yeah.
I seriously, I've got like, I sent a picture of this pomegranate vinegar that I've got in my cupboard, and I'm like, I'm feeling uninspired. What do you suggest? And so she came up like immediately with like, marinate some chicken in some mustard and that vinegar. And I was like, awesome. I've got chicken actually defrosted in my fridge right now, marinated it for 4 hours, cooked it in my, one of my favorite tastier, easier, faster shortcuts is I have a Foodie Ninja Foodie, whichever. It's an all-in-one, like, pressure cooker, air fryer, slow cooker, like it does all the things. And so I put that chicken in my air fryer and cooked it like, I can't remember what it was, like 16 minutes. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So Kim is my go-to person when I'm like, help me figure out what to make with this.
Tasty doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Any last words, Kim? Kim Howerton, everyone. Give it up.
Thank you. If you just want to find me on the internet, you can often find me at The Ketonist, TheKetonist. It is a combination of keto and hedonist, ketonist.
Oh, no.
Because I said that was that light bulb moment in my life when I said, can you really call yourself a hedonist if you don't live in a body that feels good most of the time? Mm-hmm. And so that's where I went, and that's my evolution. And, you know, I want that for everybody.
I love that. I love that. It's so true. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. It's great. It's anytime I get to hang out with you is like, oh, we should do this more often. So
that's right.
Thanks everyone for watching. We're gonna go now. If you're watching later, please share your favorite tips in there. So Amanda says thank you. You're welcome, Amanda. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.